webinar. So we're going to go 15, 20, 25 minutes. We'll see what questions we have. But we're just going to walk through step by step how to pull up a monthly birth date report along with pulling up a monthly anniversary report. So you should be seeing our Church Windows website on your page now. This is churchwindows.com. I do want to point out a couple things out here quickly that's new and that you might find helpful as we start or as you start learning the new 17 version. Also, in regards to the GoToWebinar toolbar that you should be seeing, there is a little section there for you to go in and ask questions. Marla's helping out today to answer some of those questions, but I would ask that you try to stay on topic. So if you have a question that has to do with something other than running a birth date or an anniversary report, that would really be best handled with a call in here to support, or even shooting us an email at support@churchwindows.com. So if you have questions, please feel free to type them in. Just try to keep them topical. Also, on our website, I want to show you something that's relatively new. Let me get my highlighter. It's right in here in this downloads updates link on our first screen. This is going to take you to our new service release. So 17.14.0 is our newest or current version that's out. You should have been mailed the CD for that, but there's an update for it out already. So if you log into Church Windows and you're seeing 17.14.0, please come out to our website and download SR1 or Service Release 1 so you can get updated to 17.14.1, which is in fact our most current version. And 17.14.1 is what we're going to be doing the webinar in today. So make sure you're current. SR1 has some changes into reporting and also has some bug fixes in there. So make sure you get up to date with that. What else do I want to show you? I want to take you to our support blog quickly, and I also want to show you the CW version 17 resources. If you haven't been out to either one of these links, I would definitely suggest checking them out when you have time. The support blog is a great tool for you to go out and look up some extra help on particular topics. So you can search the blog by module and see all the information that we have out there on our different modules. You can also search by a keyword. So let me type in, we'll just type in report. Now let's do labels. We're doing a membership theme today. So just type in the word label, and it's going to go out and it's going to search for any movies or documents that we have on labels itself. Okay, so this is just at our website. Looks like it's taking a minute to load here, but this is where you would go. I also want to show you over here on the left the CW version 17 resources that I highlighted before. This is really great. There's a lot of information out here for just the new version. So we have some reporting overviews. Here's a anniversary report, which we're going to do today. Just come out here and check out these movies or these webinars. They're really, really helpful. All right, let's jump into our topic. Most of the users I talk to, or a lot of the users that I speak with, they like to pull up either a birth date report and or an anniversary report on a month-to-month basis for contacting those people that are celebrating something special. So we're going to walk through the steps to pull that up every month. It's actually really straightforward in just a couple mouse clicks to get some really helpful information that most of you are going to use pretty regularly. So I'm going to click on membership, and then the membership portal is going to open. Next thing I'm going to click on is reports. And as soon as you click on reports, if you look down here on the list, we have some default or some specialty reports, if you will, that will take you right to running your birthday and your anniversary report. So let's start with our birth date report. And then once you hover over birthday, you see you have a couple options. You can go into Reports Directory Export and just pull up a report itself to print out if you want a listing. You can also export that list. Say, I know some users I talk to like to export the birthday and the anniversary report and then actually import or copy and paste it into a bulletin. You can also pull labels for those people with a birth date, and you can also email those people with a birth date. But today we're going to just focus on the report itself. So I'm going to click Reports Directory Export. And it's going to take me to my birth date list screen. And as you can see up here in our Select Membership field, it's already defaulting to birth date. It's also defaulting to is in month, so it's going to pull everybody that has a birth date in the month that we've selected. By default, it's going to focus in on the current month, but for our webinar today, I'm going to run it for December because I want to kind of be ahead of the curve here and make sure I have my December birthdays pulled up. So I'm simply going to hit the down arrow here and go down to December. Once I have my criteria selected, I'm going to hit plus selection. My criteria pops down below. Birth date is in the month of December, and that's how I know my criteria has been inputted. A couple other things on this window. You can check if you want just members, just visitors, or both by either checking or unchecking those boxes. I'm going to pull up both, so I'm going to leave visitors checked. And then the next step I'm going to take is going up to the Sort tab. So on this Sort tab, I can choose the order that I want my birth dates in December to be printed in. So for me, I want them in birth date order, so I'm just going to leave it on the default of birth date. Right? That's really all you have to do. Input your criteria for your month, check or uncheck visitors, and go to the Sort tab and make sure it's sorting in your appropriate order. Bottom right, I'm going to hit Next. And now it takes me to more of my formatting screen. So the first screen, that's your criteria or who you want labels for. The next screen is going to be for what my report is going to look like. Okay, so the people below here, these are everybody or all of my people in church windows that have a birth date that happens to fall in the month of December. Also, up in the options section, I want to make sure Basic is selected. Basic is going to give you the most options, if you will. Basic is going to be the report that's going to work most of the time when you're trying to pull a report out of church windows. And I also want to stick to my basic columnar report. These are all defaults. So I'm going to get rid of my highlighter marks. So I have basic picked, I have basic columnar report picked, and I'm going to hit print. And here is my report. By default, when you run the birth date list, you're going to get the name of your birth date person along with what their birth date is. And it's going to be listed in birth date order. Okay. Now, say you want to see the year that someone's born. To do that, I'm going to close out of the preview. And up in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to check this little box here that says Include Year on Birth Date. and then I'm going to hit print again. And now I have a listing of my same birth date people with their month and their day, but it's also going to give me their birth year. Okay. Birthday report is very, very similar to the anniversary report. Process is still the same. You're just querying on marriage date instead of birth date. All right, so let's jump into that. I'm going to close out of my preview, close out of membership. All right, I see that Candy did ask about showing age on the birth date report. Let's go back in and let me show you all that. So we're going to go to reports again. We're going to birth date. We're going to reports directory export. We still have birth date selected and the month is still popping up by default. I'm going to scroll down to December, add my criteria. I'm leaving visitors checked. I'm going to my sort tab. It says birth date. That's what I want. I'm going to hit next. Now, the basic columnar report that's going to pop up by default, like I said, it's going to give you the name and it's going to give you the birth date. Now say that you want to see their age or how old they are. To do that, I need to make a new report. So I'm going to come down here and hit this new button. And I'll call it birth date and age, report. I always like to name my reports like what they're displaying. So, I mean, you could call something specific if you have a specific report that you always pull up for, like your, I don't know, Wednesday night Bible study or something. But for me, I like to name it the fields that are going to be displayed. So I'm calling it birth date and age report. And then that'll pop in my box here. And this will always be here now. So any new reports I make, I can pull up in the future. Going to the right, hitting select fields. Once again, by default, I have name and I have birth date. But I'm going to scroll down. Oop, there it is. I'm going to find age. And I'm going to move it to the right because under my visible columns, that tells me if age is there, I'm going to see age. I hit OK. And I'm hitting print. Okay. Now say you want to sort by age. Candy also asked how to sort by age. Quickly, let me close out of here. If you want to sort by age, you have to go back to the previous screen and go to the Sort tab. And you have to pick age here in Sort Field 1. And I hit Next. I have Basic selected. I'm hitting my down arrow. I'm looking for my birth date age report. I'm hitting Print. And now I have a report with name, birth date, sorted by age. You can also sort that in descending order if you want the older people at the top going to the youngest. Okay? All right, let's move on to the anniversary report. So same thing, we're going to membership. We're clicking on reports. This time we're going to anniversary. And we're choosing Reports Directory Export. Just like the birth date report, by default, we're going to get marriage date in our box in the top left, along with is in month selected. Once again, it defaulted to our current period, but we're going to change that. December. Let me get rid of my highlighter here. We're adding the selection. Marriage date is in the month of December. Top left, you can uncheck visitors if you don't want visitors included on this report. But for me, or for this example, I do. So I'm going to check visitors. I'm going to the Sort tab. By default, it's going to be on marriage date, which is what I want. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm hitting Next. Okay. Now, here are my two couples that have an anniversary in December. I'm going to leave basic selected, and I'm also going to leave basic columnar report, and I'm going to hit print. And this report's really cool because not only does it give you the couple's names, it gives you their marriage date along with how long they've been married, which is a nice addition too. Now, say you want to know what year they were married in and not have to calculate it using the years married box. Same as the birth date report, close out of the preview. We're going to check that box up here in the top right that says include year on anniversary date. With that checked, we're going to hit print. And now here's our report with not only the names, but the marriage date with the year and the years married. Okay? That's really the basics that I wanted to cover with you today. Let me look at some of the questions that we have coming in and see if we can't cover those with a little bit of time we have left here. All right. We have a user that's asking to touch base on the emailing feature. The emailing feature is a little bit, it's a little involved to get set up, but once it's set up, it's super easy. But there is some information that you have to gather from your email provider. So I'll show you real quick what information that you need. Oh, I forgot to add it to the query. There we go. All right, so up here at the top where it says email settings, you have to hit this little green plus sign, and this needs to be filled out before you can do any emailing. You have to add in a display name, and you have to set out your outgoing mail server. This is usually where people have trouble because they're not sure exactly who their email provider is. So for example, if you're using, I don't know, Time Warner is your email provider, or Gmail or Hotmail, you have to get their SMTP host address information, okay, along with what port number to use and what SSL to use. This information is not something that we at Church Windows would know. You have to know who your provider is along with the recommended SMTP hosted, or along with the host address, port number, and SSL. Okay. So if you need help with this, make sure you get this information first. You can hit the little question marks to get some more information. But before we're able to help you input this information into Church Windows, you have to know what these three fields are. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about emailing today. That's all we really have time for. But if you have questions, once you get that information, just give us a call and we're happy to help you. All right. Shar has a question. It says, our church does yearly report of all couples married 25 through 50 years, and all on one report. So you can definitely do that. We're going to go to Reports, Birth Date, Reports Directory Export. And on this screen, instead of doing is in month, you want to choose the between option. So you would have to take, 2014 minus 50 to get your year, and then you would put that here. And then you'd have to go into this box and then find what 2014 minus 25 is and put that date here in this box. Okay, so you can definitely do a range. You just might have to do some math to figure out what marks 25 years and what year marks 50 years. Diane's asking, are widowers automatically excluded from the anniversary report? Yes, as long as they're terminated. You need to make sure that when people pass away, you assign them a reason for termination. That's what's going to leave them off of the report. All right, we're about 20 minutes in, so if anyone has any other questions, please type them in. We'll do our best to get to those, and we'll wrap up here in a couple minutes. Thank you guys for attending. I know it was just a quick coffee break, but I hope you learned a lot about running those birthdays reports and those anniversary reports. They're something that most people do pretty regularly, and I think with our new version, the process to get those is just so much easier. And I think I love that years married field too that we have now. I think that is really, really helpful. So you can see, oh, somebody's celebrating 50 years this year. That's a pretty big deal. So it's nice to see that and be able to acknowledge it. All right, someone's asking if there's a couple and only one spouse is living, the other's passed away. They're wondering if they are going to be picked up on the anniversary report. No, they're not. They will be left off because they're terminated. That's why, let me show you this, in membership members, it is so important that you have this directory report order field filled out. Okay, it's crucial that you assign your primary person a 1 and your secondary person a 2. So here we have Bob, he's number 1. Renee, well, see, not filled in. They should have a number 2. And the program looks at those fields when it does report. You need to make sure that those people have the appropriate directory report orders. So when you run the report, you get, or it leaves out if someone's passed away. What you can also do, guys, is you can come in here where it says marriage date. Usually what we recommend if you have a couple and someone's passed away, you want to make sure that you clear out the marriage date. And some people like to move it out and copy it over to like the comments section. I think I have a family in here. Here we go. Hammer's passed away. Let me update this. Hammer's passed away, and Lucy is, she's still living. So what you would want to do is come into their marriage date and copy it, and then just clear it out of the marriage date box. And then up here on the individual record, you can go to the comment section, and you can put, Hammer passed away. Oops. Hello, marriage date is, and just paste it right in there. So that's an option. All right, well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in. I hope you all found this helpful. You have any other questions, give us a call here at support or send us an email to support@churchwindows.com. Make sure you keep an eye out for our December webinars. I'm not sure yet what we have on the books for December yet, but just stay tuned to our website. We're always thinking up new ideas for our webinars. And I hope you all have a great day and a good weekend. Thank you. Bye.